are here present in Finland. Their ploy to deceive the people with fake restructuring and state creation will not work. Not anymore. The Nigerian state has been anything but an impediment to all these ideals, hence our resolve to exit the enclave that has never been more urgent than now. I'm the Chief of the United States of Biafra, Attorney General Iwuze, to confirm this declaration. Welcome to the 40th State of the United States of Biafra.
So the special IOU allows people, you, your friends, to lend money to the Biafran government. The Biafran government guarantees full repayment of the loan.
Good evening, viewers. This is BVI Channel 1. You're welcome back again on our live stream on Matters Arising. I still remain Asuchin Peters right here, bringing you the undiluted truth. And following the program we did yesterday, we are continuing on the same program in order to expand the knowledge of our people with respect to the Biafra declaration that occurred in Finland last weekend. For benefit of those who are joining us and those who didn't follow yesterday, let us have a recap of what we are talking about. The declaration event by Biafrans, led by Simon Ekpa in Finland, had this occasion, very symbolic one for that matter, as they made the Biafra declaration. Let us take a look at that video. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
Biafra. I am excited. My voice is shaking. It's part of me. This is a special moment. These are the British government. They are all working in. These gentlemen and women, these lions and lionesses are going to finish the job to save life, to stop this obligation, to make life better for everybody. It is a country of excitement, a country that will serve the people. You can see how many people, you can see how many. Simon Ekpa has put things in place. He has set all this up. And you can see, this is an intelligent man. These are people who come to serve their people. You can see how much effort Simon has put into this. I am so proud of what is going on. This is an exciting time. We are all here to do one thing, to seek freedom, to restore Biafra. And that is what we are here for. Thank you, my people. This is an imagination. Lover of freedom. Alex Storm, and the whole of Finland. We thank you for doing it. This has to be done. This restoration, it has to be done. It is a long time now. This is far too long. We need to do this. And that is what we are doing. Biafrans, you can see. Biafrans, you can see. This is it. This is it, Biafrans. This is it. These are Biafrans. These are the hall is packed. This is what our Prime Minister has put together. They are
all the whole bloggers join this movement. Bloggers, bad bloggers, every blogger, so you said therefore not come join this movement. Click in my picture body.
here on this memorable event in Lati to welcome Biafrans and dignitaries from all over the world that are here present in Finland. Last year, we gathered in Helsinki to chart a new course for our people and fight for our freedom. This year, we are gathering again to review our progress and make definite statements about our freedom. The challenges we face are still enormous, but one thing is clear. Because our angels, Biafra Defense Forces and resistance fighters, have discharged their duties with utmost professionalism, the oppressors have realized they can't kill their way out of our quest for freedom. They apply to deceive the people with fake restructuring and state creation will not work. You all remember, we've been asking for restructuring for ages and Nigeria have refused. Now that our PM has risen up, they now want regional government. Not for us anymore. None of these ploys will bring back the thousands of Biafrans the Nigerian state have killed just for carrying flags or on mere suspicion of being an indigenous people of Biafra membership. Just for being an IPOB, just for being a Biafran, Nigeria murders our people in the thousands. Many families have been rendered childless, motherless, and or fatherless by the Nigerian state. Many people have had their homes and businesses burnt or destroyed by Nigeria state. Many more people have died as a result of secondary effects of the pain and suffering we have had to endure in the hands of the Nigerian state. My fellow Biafrans, as I look back over 3 years since the abduction and extraordinary rendition of our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the severe suffering this act brought onto our people, I am saddened by the extreme cruelty the Nigerian state has unleashed on our people. We have endured a lot and stand to endure even more, underscoring our resolve to attain our inalienable God-given right to existence, freedom, pursuit of happiness and livelihood. Biafrans are begging to leave. We are begging to leave. Not anymore. Not anymore. The Nigerian state has been anything but an impediment to all these ideals, hence our resolve to exit the enclave that has never been more urgent than now. I salute the courage of Biafrans in the homeland who have borne the brunt of Nigeria's state-sponsored cruelty, particularly those that have paid the ultimate price and their families. To the Biafrans in diaspora, I cannot thank you enough for standing up for your compatriots and being a source of hope for the defenseless people in the homeland who are victims in many respects, including loss of our collective wealth to a select privileged few who then turn around and denigrate the people as miscreants. This sorry state of the enclave is the primary inspiration for MK's fight for the freedom for our people, on realization that a fix within the current enclave and its institutions is impossible. In this regard, we initiated a self-referendum voting for our people to decide whether or not they support Biafra independence. This voting process started on February 1st, 2024, and ran through November 28, 2024. The voting just ended, the referendum. The full results will be out in the next 2-3 weeks to the world. The participation was massive, with approximately 50 million votes cast. The results of the self-referendum will be released later in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Once again, I welcome you to the most beautiful and most hospitable city, Lahti, Finland. Thank you so much. On the Chief Justice of the United States of Biafra, Attorney Jane Iwuze, to confirm this declaration. I didn't read this 40 states. Okay. Fellow Biafrans, I hereby mention the 40 states of the United States of Biafra: Aba State, Adoka State, Afema Igodomigodo, Ahoda, Abakip Oro, Alanso, Aludo, Anioma, Branem, Calabar, Ebonyi, Ebube, Edo, Eda, Enugu, Epie, Esan Igodomigodo, Ezani, Iden Igodomigodo, Idun Ibon, Igala State, Ibani State, Ika State, Ikemba State, Ikom State, Ikwimisia State, Itayanan, Iwere State, Iwuroha State, Odumegu State, Obuya State, Ogoja State, Ohabuenyi State, Ohuku State, Okigwe State, Omambala State, Olu State, Owerri State, Kwa State, South Atlantic State, Uroba Isoko State. Welcome to the 40 states of the United States of Biafra.
So the special IOU allows people, you, your friends, to lend money to the Biafran government. Biafran government guarantees full repayment of the loan lent to us, plus 100% interest. And there's also a very special gift for those that participated in this. The government will repay you when it's fully established in the homeland, and until then, partial or withdrawal is not allowed. We will reward you.
That is it. You're welcome back again. We are still on the program, Matters Arising, and we are discussing the Biafra Declaration in Finland, just like you just watched. For the benefit of those of you who couldn't follow us yesterday, today is a great opportunity for you to be part of this conversation, as we'll be opening up the line on this issue so that you'll be able to have a say on this very all-important matter. Some of you will argue that there is no particular format for any nation to attain independence. Many may take through war, others through diplomatic engagement and all of those things. Yes, all of those things are in order. But let us take a view, just like we did yesterday, from how South Sudan got their own independence. Because South Sudan is the closest example with respect to the Biafran issue and agitation, and Nigeria as a country. As you all know, that the Sudan were largely divided into two, between the north and the south, where the north is predominantly Muslim, occupying the control of political power, and also using the resources of the South Sudan, who are predominantly Christians. So it has a similar situation with that of Nigeria when you talk about the north and the south, or southeast, as the case might be. And Nigeria's own is quite more complex, actually. But we are going to still touch light on how South Sudan got theirs. Then we'll take a leaf from there and now have this healthy discussion. Don't forget that this is a live program, and we are streaming on all our social media platforms, on our Facebook, BVI Channel 1, on Instagram, the same, and also on our backup YouTube channel, BVI Channel 1, plus some of you are watching from there, and on our main channel, as you are always following us right here. Okay, so let us take a look at that video, and I'll be right back for us to open up the lines, because we don't have much to say than to open up the lines for people to call. A lot of calls came in yesterday. A lot of people couldn't get through. This is an opportunity for you. So let us hit the ground running immediately. Take a look at that video and come back to open up the lines. I'll be right back.
As we speak, pro-Russian separatists are trying to secede from Ukraine. The Kurdish regional government is trying to secede from Iraq, and Scotland has a vote scheduled in September that may result in their seceding from the UK. Secession is in the air, and it brings up an important question. If the people of a particular region want to secede, why can't they? There are a lot of ways you could argue this question, but the simplest answer is this. Dissatisfaction in a nation's leaders, its economy, or its government is not enough to secede. You need much more than that. To illustrate this point, let's look at South Sudan and how they successfully seceded from Sudan in 2011. Sudan has a history of conflict between the Muslim majority in the north and the non-Muslim minority in the sub-Saharan south. It was the South that won the right to secede in 2011. They did this by having an established cultural group and region, a history of being institutionally marginalized, an independent representative system of government, and the economic means to establish and protect their new state without bankrupting the other state through secession. Those last points were earned in the Second Sudanese Civil War, which ended in a peace agreement that formally established a representative body for South Sudan. It also created a plan for oil revenue splitting between North and South, and a plan for federal job sharing countrywide. They also needed to prove that there was no better alternative to secession, a point well made by 50-plus years of conflicts and all-out war in the region. Even then, meeting just those requirements isn't enough. You still need wide support among your cultural group and region. You need comparable support from the nation you're leaving, and you need support from the international community. Luckily for South Sudan, all of that did fall into place, and on July 9, 2011, they won their right to secede after a secession referendum was voted on earlier that month. Almost 99% of registered voters in South Sudan voted for secession, and almost 58% of registered voters in the north voted for it as well. Later that month, the UN officially recognized South Sudan as its own nation. That, in a nutshell, is what you need to secede. A clear culture and region, a history of being marginalized, an organized government, a stable economy, no alternate options for peace, and full support from your group, as well as support from the group you're leaving. You also need an endorsement from the international community as a whole.
That is it. And you've had it, how countries get their independence. Now, in summary of our position with respect to independence agitation, I want to start with letting our people understand the difference between freedom and independence. Okay, you can have freedom, but you may not have independence. Just like we all know that many African countries today, after their independence from their colonial masters, they never had freedom. That's why today you have some countries who are fighting and getting themselves free from their colonial masters in recent time. All right? Talking about Mali, Niger, and the rest of them, Burkina Faso, and the rest of them. Okay? This is a clear example that many African countries today, after independence, are still in the stranglehold of those who are forces controlling them outside their homeland. That is one. Then, with respect to the Biafra agitation and the agitation for self-determination, not just the Biafran people, but other indigenous identities in Nigeria today are agitating for one thing or the other, including the Oduduwas, the Arewas, and the Biafrans. Now, with respect to independence, like we've always said, there are only two ways one can attain independence. Two ways. It's either you go through war or you go through the due process of law. Although law is also, war also has its own laws and rules in fighting it. Okay? I'm going to emphasize on that, especially with respect to the man that prosecuted that genocidal war alongside other people, forces outside Nigeria against the Biafran people, using hunger as a weapon of war, which even the United Nations today have declared that such is a crime against humanity. And those men that prosecuted that genocidal war against Biafran people using hunger are still walking on earth untouched. We're going to get to that. Okay, but today we are looking at two prominent ways whereby a nation can attain independence. It's either you go through war, for full-blown war, or you go through the due process of law. And when you talk about due process of law, it entails engaging in diplomacy. It entails engaging in judicial process, whether local and international. Okay? Also engaging in the political process. All of these are part of due process of law in achieving independence. Just like Nigeria did, they followed through diplomacy and all of those things, and they were able to gain independence, not freedom. Freedom is something that happened from within. Understand that. Freedom starts from within. Because somebody that is mentally enslaved cannot agitate for freedom. People who are misinformed cannot get freedom. And people who are in bondage, it's very difficult for them to, access even independence, as the case might be, except on the terms and conditions of their oppressors, just like we've seen in many African nations. And that is not what the Biafran people would like. Okay, so this is one of the things that I want our people to understand in their quest to achieve independence. But for me, if you ask my opinion, while we wait for your calls to come in, we are going to take your calls as soon as it's coming. Although some people came in while we are still doing our preliminary introduction. But once your calls start coming in, we will start taking your calls. But meanwhile, you need to understand the difference between freedom and independence and how to go about it. Freedom, we can achieve freedom even right now as we speak. In Biafran land, Biafran people can achieve freedom if they choose to, irrespective of the fact that Nigeria hostile policies and programs targeted against the Biafran people in Nigeria today. Irrespective of that fact, the Biafran people can still pursue and achieve their freedom, even with all of the oppression. So this is one of the things we must understand. Let us quickly take the first caller, Uchendu. I think he's calling us from United Kingdom. Hello, good evening. Hello?
How are you?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to you, Uchendu. Can you hear me? Hello, Uchendu, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you have Biafra declaration in Finland, is that?
Yes, go on.
Are you doing Biafra declaration in
That's what's happening.
what you are discussing?
Exactly. Go on.
Okay. I think it's a good change they are doing. It's like a comedy show. People went on holiday, just concert. It won't turn into a comedy show. Yeah, so basically, the damage these guys have done to our homeland cannot undo. The fact is that no people can actually be independent and free without, first of all, rebuilding our homeland in one way or the other. If you are dancing in and making all those declarations, creating also making your homeland uninhabitable, making people to flee from your homeland, there's no way you will ever have independence, because it has shown that you are highly incapable of managing your area. So I think what we need to do now is, first of all, is to see how we can recover the homeland from the local. Because if the local invaded the place, it's so destructive, it eats up everything. It doesn't leave anything for the farmer. And that's what we're experiencing. Unless we get out from this local era we won't be talking about Biafra at the moment because the fact is that there's so much damage done to the psyche of our people. You know, that's why you are having this challenge in this all over. So for somebody talking about independent, I know where you will be having those independent, where you have taken most of your people away. The prominent ones are away from their homeland, and most of their resources are basically based in those areas you say that is their opponent's land. So if you make that move of that, what will happen is that there will be total economic disaster because people will be regarded as abandoned property. The international law might not come to that because we are, remember this is Africa. But is there a solution to our problem? What I always get is this. We always take people serious if they love the homeland, especially investing in the homeland. First of all, invest in your homeland. Help people in our homeland gather together to build churches all over the place. What we need to do is to go back to our homeland, after rebuilding our homeland, making sure that the peace reign in that place, bringing those we have chased away from the homeland. So making sure also the schools are built in those villages that have no schools, build boarding schools so that our children will be from all over the world will be going to those boarding schools and creating an economy. Yeah. Building massive hospitals and also building business parks. Our homeland has now become a residential area. People are building estates all over the place, forgetting that you are building estates without building industrial parks. It's completely useless. Without investing in agriculture, completely useless because if you keep on selling land for people building luxurious houses only, so what work will those people be doing in their homeland? So now is the solution is basically to take advantage of we have a comparative advantage, so which we have not deployed. As we go everywhere and basically investing in many places and basically making becoming popular, becoming famous. We can also take those things to our, how about those our guys that in China bringing those electronic manufacturing in our homeland, building a place where they can easily get mobile phones, assembled. This will create something like 500,000 jobs instantly. It can just change a narrative. How about bringing all those garment processing plants you see in India and China? Because we are the ones that are dealing on this business. So it's just go and negotiate with your partners and bring it to your homeland. How about investing in security? We can also gather, even if the governments are failing, we can also gather as communities and invest in security. So how will we do that? By first of all getting solar lights everywhere, making sure all the houses are not in darkness. All the streets are covered with the solar system. So by so doing, there is no dark corners in the community. So now the next stage is to put CCTV cameras, and the last one is to employ vigilantes. So we can actually do all those things. We don't need to wait for government alone because we are the government. So a summary of what I'm saying, because of other people to engage, is basically the Biafra. I'm talking of the Biafra of building our own homeland first, empowering the homeland, making sure that those people are chased away return back to the homeland. So that's the first thing we need to do.
All right.
So once we do that, we have that Biafra we are talking about.
All right. That's exactly what you've just mentioned. when we talk about freedom. You're talking about economic freedom of our people, which also we need even political freedom, which starts with our attitude. I explained that yesterday. And all of those things are critically important. When we talk about good governance, it all covers what you've just said, because that is what is going to ensure the things you've mentioned. Maybe tomorrow, if you're continuing on this program tomorrow, then we are going to look at some of the things that happened today. The news coming from Mbosi, I think yesterday actually, where schools were destroyed, burnt down to the ground. Those places are impassable, and these places are Biafra land. Who are behind this destruction? I heard that the federal government fighter jets were dropping bombs in those areas, and everywhere was completely destroyed because they believe that we have engaged. I mean, the Biafran people have engaged them in a warfare, and because of that, any slightest opportunity they have, Nigerian army. It happened in Zakibiam. It happened in Bayelsa. In so many places where once you engage the army or maybe kill one or two of them, maybe do all these activities of armed personnel or armed on what do you call them, non-government actors or non-state actors who carry guns and engage them, kill one army, they'll come back with their battalion and start wiping out the entire village. This is what Biafran land is faced with today. This is the condition of Biafran and creating serious tension and insecurity situation whereby people here are running away. So when you are trying to talk about good governance, investment in back home, investing in agricultural and all of those activities, which GGM is preaching and engaging with through our cooperative. I heard you mention organizing ourselves. Yes, GGM is organizing the people through our cooperative. Now, how many people are investing in such ideas that will better, that will engage our young people, empower them with resources so that they will not be vulnerable tools in the hands of politicians who will always want to use them during election, to rig election, to carry out dirty jobs for them. And at the end of the day, we are all suffering it. So, my brother Uchendo, you've made a very vital point with your submission. Thank you for joining the program tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Ndubisi has just joined us virtually, and we're going to take him on. Ndubisi, good evening, and you're welcome to the program tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Chinedu. Greetings to our people all over the world. Thank you for the wonderful job you've been doing. You have been sensitizing our people, empowering their mental being to achieve mental freedom. Mental freedom brings economic and political freedom. They all work hand in hand. Thank you, Chinedu.
All right, now, Ndubisi, how do you react to this whole thing with respect to good governance that is being mentioned, especially as the Ambassador General of GGM preaching this gospel? How does that, had a meeting point with the freedom? We're talking about freedom, economic freedom of our people, socio-political freedom of our people, and the rest of them.
Yeah, thank you, Chinedu. Those of us down here, I must confess it has not been easy. The superstructure, which is the political structure, controls the economic structure, whether anybody likes it or not. The political structure in Nigeria, as well as those in Igbo land, Biafra land, are most frustrating. These structures have been encouraging impunity, lawlessness, all sorts of devilish acts going on in our space. It has never encouraged those of us who are of good behavior, who are hardworking, who are working hard to improve the system. I will give you one example, just like the last caller. Last caller had been.
Hang on, DBC. Let us give a priority to the caller who is on the phone. Please, you continue from where you stop. Hello, the caller on the phone, your name and where you're calling from. I think you're calling from Qatar. Your name, please.
Yes, my name is Mazi Gochu.
Mazu Gochukwu, all right. What's your take? And be brief. You have just a couple of minutes to air your opinion with respect to what you're talking about tonight.
Yeah, good evening, King. I just I want to appreciate you for what you're doing. You're doing quite a good job.
Thank
What I
you.
just want to see is that the people in Finland doing their thing, they are doing their thing. It's recommendable, if not for only one thing, for the publicity they are giving to their nation. That is something, no matter where it comes from and who is involved, maybe people that is in the other side, they are just what people that is the other side, it is recommendable. That is it. And that's only what I have to say. Not that them. It's not discharge them or encourage them, say that they are just putting themselves. No, they are giving Biafra a good publicity.
I agree with you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for that.
I strongly agree with you. Thank you very much for that submission. It is very symbolic, and that is what Ndubisi said yesterday, and we agree with that totally. Okay, nobody is discarding what happened in Finland. It is symbolic. It is all important, creating of the awareness. But we need to understand where things become. For us to understand what is reality and fiction. Okay, so our people should understand where we're coming from and where we're heading to, so that people don't be carried away or misled. Now, Ndubisi, go on with what you are saying.
Chinedu, like I was saying, the political situation here is not quite encouraging. It's not encouraging production. It's not encouraging hard working, innovation. It's killing talents. And for that singular reason, that is why so many of our dear brothers and sisters are running away out of the country. It's just not the agitation. It's just not because of the insecurity. The people are tagging the agitators as the people creating the insecurity in our land. But I disagree with that position to a very large extent. If our politicians understand the hard feelings of the people and connect with the people emotionally, I'm telling you, the people on ground will connect with them, because these are the people in charge of the government. These are the people in charge of the budget. These are the people allocating resources, distributing resources. I was about giving you one example. We have cooperative here. We've been looking for land to start our agricultural project. We've gone to government, approached the government. Government said there's no land yet, that we should keep on coming. We've gone to communities, several communities over the past 3 years. There was one we went, after going there, the price we negotiated with them, on coming back, another group of people have offered a higher prices for estate, building housing estate, just like the last caller said. Our land has been taken over by buccaneers, political and economic buccaneers. Our land, instead of giving space for production, for food security, the core capitalists, because Igbo people are known for their trading mentality. People do plus and minus sign, buying and selling. If I invest 20 million naira in this month, how much will it fetch me next month? So the point I'm trying to make here is that it is the political decision that will assist to reset and organize all this. things for production to take place. But however, in as much as we have difficulties here and there, that will not discourage us from doing the right thing. And what is the right thing? We must continue fighting. We must continue engaging them. We must continue insisting that the right thing be done. We must start uh, like a journey of 1 million miles. Start from making a single step. Upon all these frustrations, myself being Dubisi, in charge of the cooperative and ambassador general, I am not giving up. I still believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We keep on pushing.
Exactly.
And that is what I'm encouraging everybody. As long as we are following the right process, you have to continue. You have to insist. You have to persevere. The problem we have is that a lot of our people are being distracted because people
Okay.
believe in miracle. People believe that they can sleep and wake up having China
I
and
wake up.
Nigeria, or,
I wake up in
or,
Biafra.
having, or having Air Darodo in our land. People said, like yesterday, Chide, you engaged some people, they said, Chebi Obi went to election, they rigged him out. Chebi Soludo, we put Soludo there. What? See, the fact that you tried the first and failed will not stop you from engaging. The fact that Hope Uzodinma came forth and went to court and there was legal lacuna somewhere there, and people conniving with legal officers, he saw an opening. They hijacked that opening and made him governor. That should not deter us from working hard. That will not stop us from organizing ourselves to take
Exactly.
over our political environment. Because if you say it is not easy, is it easy for you to have Biafra? If you cannot fight within your space, our case is different from Israel, is different from Yugoslavia, is different from Russia. We have our land space here. I am speaking from Biafra land here. I am right here in our land. So we have our space. Our own case is different from others. Let nobody paint picture that they have killed all of us. So that Fulani is killing all of us. So that they have taken over our land. But people are going to farm. People are still farming.
People are going
So
to market.
let us present the issue the way they are and stop deceiving people.
All right,
The fact is
NDBC.
that we should continue.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. NDBC. Let me cut you short there and bring in Mbadike, who is joining us from the call line. Hello, Chief Mbadike. Good evening. You're welcome to the program once again this evening.
Yes, good afternoon from city of New York, North Canada. I didn't join in earlier, but I thought that about South Sudan, because when people are talking about Biafran restoration, people always say that, you need to be good from home before coming out to the outside. And I don't know where to know. And that was the point I was trying to make yesterday, but network was very bad, maybe from my own end. That we need to start building our home. Because when you get to make our people feel comfortable and then there's a security, and our people will be able to develop our land, because all this independence that we are talking about, people talking about South Sudan, they forget that these people fought with guns and bullets for years. That when they have a ceasefire, that's when they follow the international law and get what they want. But when our land is, are not secure and people are still jumping out, if you can imagine, our governors started getting married, they took it to Abuja and do it there. It's part of the insecurity in the land. And most of our people that are agitating for Biafran restoration, they don't see it as a disaster to our land, that the whole governor of the state, that the daughter will be getting married, they're moving from the state.
And they're taking it to Abuja.
And take it to Abuja, which is kind of abomination. But when our people is there, all these people fighting for Biafra, My take on those things is that Biafra is already a signature headline. Anybody can come in and say Biafra, Biafra. People will follow them because this is what our people want. But the problem we have is that people in those leadership are not doing it the right way. Number one, you need to secure your home. The structure you have in your home is what will enable you to, to accomplish what you are seeking for. If our people can go to market, even if they want to go to market 7 days in a week, and be able to accomplish what they go out there to do, then you tell them to do something, they will do it. Because I know when all this sit at home was going on, before the violence gets into it, people are enjoying themselves because they really need that Biafra to come. But when the violence gets into it, you see we have a divided home. All the structures that are in our land that are bringing development, all of them, still exist. Those are the basics where we need to go. That when you set up this program, GGM, I was telling people in New York here, this is the only way we can get this Biafra in our lifetime. Because if the developments start coming into our land, we start confronting the governors in our land to show us what they are doing. Then we will be able to accomplish all the things that we needed to do.
Exactly.
But I'll hang on here. Let's see how people, respond, and I will come back and continue with what we are doing.
All right, just hang on there because there are a lot of things for us to discuss today. With yesterday in DBC, we were talking about this declaration. There's one aspect of it that we didn't actually touch light, and it has brought a lot of controversy from many people who were making their commenting and reacting to the whole thing. The 40 states that was declared that yesterday was very, very confusing and very complicated. More complicated and worse than what Nigeria created itself. In fact, to a large extent, adopted the criminality of divide and rule Nigeria created in the name of states. It's very, very unheard of. You remember NDBC at the time when we are starting this whole agitation, trying to make it form and have a kind of sense of direction, plan of action, and the rest of them. Well, people like us made a proposal that when Biafra should happen, it should be a consensus agreement of those who are involved in it. Everyone should be involved in making their decision whether or not to be part of Biafra. And it should not be mopped up by, confusion that Nigeria created. For instance, when we are saying we are no longer going to be part of that, if Biafra comes, how are you going to structure it? How are you going to run it? What kind of government are you going to run? Will you adopt the Nigerian system of government? Or will you adopt a kind of government that is suitable for the Biafran people, especially when we know that the Biafrans are largely Republican people? How are you going to define the boundaries, the indigenous nationalities within the Biafran territories? How are you going to establish these defined boundaries so that we'll have a United States of Biafra? After all, we mentioned it in the first instance. If it will be a United States of Biafra, who are those federating units? The indigenous nationalities like Anang, the Jaws, the Bibios, the Igbos, and all of those ethnic nationalities within the Biafran territory. We proposed that time that each and every one of them should have their own and independent autonomy, largely autonomy, just like what you have in Dubai or United Kingdom. And that way, they will not be able to create for themselves, province for themselves, and not somebody somewhere allocating and sharing the entire place, states, like butchering it, just like what the Berlin Conference did and what Nigeria gazetted in terms of creating of states. So, to a large extent, people must understand that when somebody is coming up with this kind of mindset, it gives room for suspicion that in the Adepa, they say that these people wants to run everybody over. They say that these people, who are you conscripting? It's just like conscripting people into Biafra without their consent. And I believe it will all be covered within that referendum that will be achieved. And another aspect again I want to touch light before we take course again and also allow Mbadike and Ndubisi to react to it quickly, is the issue, apart from the structures and the boundaries, okay, the issue of the contemporary Nigeria today, where they said in that declaration that they are not accepting any move by the federal government to restructure Nigeria back to regional government. And this is what we have been agitating on this platform for God knows how long. This is what we have been pushing so hard, and I can tell you why it is even possible today is because Tinubu is the president. And the Oduduwas are using it as a kind of bulldog up against the North. That if you people don't give us our chance to do our thing in our own time here that we are president, we are going to go back to Oduduwa. I think that is the picture that they are trying to paint. And they are now putting up the bill for regional autonomy, this, and there are own people who should grab it with two hands and put it as saying they are not interested in it. They are not interested in regional government, without knowing that regional government will open up the floodgate for people to be able to manage their affairs, be in control of their territory, form a kind of government and control their territory largely. So let's have your reaction to that, beginning with Mbadike. Mbadike, are you there?
Yeah, it's not much to discuss to us to start from our getting things in order. Because as the pronouncement was made, you can find out that everything is orderless, you know? Because people that are home are not aware of those announcements that have been going on. And I always say that anybody can come in and tell you Biafra, Biafra, you know? Telling you Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. A lot of these people don't have no blueprint what they are doing. They don't get me involved in putting me in a state. I will dispute it. That's where the whole problem will start. And when you see the way the whole thing started, it's a way to continue promoting the image of Biafra. Not that Biafra is coming what they are doing. You understand? So I don't look at it that name is still out there, and people will keep wondering which country is this Biafra they're talking about. But if we want to get it, we're gonna go to the grassroots and do our evangelism all the way to the ground and find out who wants to belong to this great thing. If we can remember when they were passing Olu State, some people say they're not gonna be part of Olu State because the consultation wasn't made properly, you know? If you want to carve people into a state, those people are supposed to be aware of it. But when you see what we are doing in this agitation, we kind of jump out from what will bring us to reality and doing something that is fiction. Because what we are doing now is fiction. If you ask people that are back home, you heard about this state they pronounce 40 states from what they call it, from a county or from, state, then you create 40 states out of 11 districts. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're looking at it, you find out that it makes us look like we are jokers, it makes us look like a joker because what is going on today doesn't have no foundation. That's why DGM is the best way to go. We start building our home, start encouraging people that are home that able to help other people so that we can have a unification within ourselves before we come outside to say this is what we want. Like somebody that's telling you about South Sudan. There was people are dying for years, and when they find that this will not get them what they want, they went back to square one and regroup themselves within a period of 6 months or so. They get, they for referendum. But these are the things our people need to start thinking about. Not only somebody jump out and say you want to get Biafra. You find out that when you get off from the ground and you just landed on the ant hole, you're still on the ground. We are not making no headways. Rather, we're making our people's life and people be emitting their untimely death. That's what you see going on in our land today. The governors of the governors cannot even protect their citizens. If you look way back the other day, about 2 days ago, the Enugu state governor running into a non-gun bush. When you look at all those things, you find out that if our home is in order, those people that are minding those roadblocks or attacks, they will have something to do. If you have a job that you can go to in the morning, by the time you get home, you'll be tired. You won't have that, mindset to go out on the street and take something that doesn't belong to you from somebody to accomplish some. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let us quickly take this caller. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Italy.
Your name, please.
My name is Sunday.
Sunday, go on with your submission. Be brief, please. Thank you.
Okay. Chinedu, you are a Biafran man. All this is you are talking now. You're not supposed to be talking because you're supposed to join. Make A and make A. Look at what you are talking online. Now, this is what you're supposed to join hands to know the level of what we are doing. Huh?
Is what I'm talking countering what you are doing? In what way? Be very specific.
Chile, join your brothers. Join your brothers.
You are saying join your brothers. I'm asking a simple question. What we are discussing here, does that counter what you are doing? And in what way? Be very specific.
Chile, join your brothers.
You see, when people don't have an opinion, join your brothers, you first of all came out and start attacking me that I am not joining my brothers, I am countering what they are doing. A simple question. How does what we are very serious minded here. We are not here for propaganda. We are here to, share ideas, open up opinions, and allow all of us to learn and unlearn. And not just people jumping in and want to force their opinion down your throat. It doesn't work that way, my brother. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning from here.
Yeah, Obidio Bienu from US. You're welcome back again.
But you already joined your brothers at one time.
Mother that's saying join your brothers as if to say in what way have what we've said not joining our brothers or countering our brothers? Or not join your brothers, join your brothers. These are people that anyway, a lot of crowd, everybody knows so one agaga, about one agaga jump. Let us be a but that is the smoke we are trying to clear anyway. I don't blame him, but I hope you will be listening and understanding more and better, because this is not the first time we're seeing it. It has been a long journey. We started this in 2012. Go on.
The brother that is actually need to join the brother, just know that he's been on this journey. The point is that it's part of the discussion we had yesterday, or rather my contribution yesterday, for all of us to, if you don't understand something, don't jump in there. Okay, but if there's any place you are fighting or you're doing something for the betterment of our people, continue with that direction.
Exactly.
Don't antagonize one another. Don't antagonize one another. If I have a piece of money, if you don't understand it, don't jump in, because that is the reason we are stuck where we are stuck today. Okay.
I agree with you.
That said, it's going on is beautiful to me. You know what? Even though it's very sad, we will get through all these things. That's my own conviction. Okay? You see, for me, it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to swallow what is happening in our land. And with the presence of all these people that call themselves leaders, you see, when I call them criminals, people don't see why I do that. You know, because you cannot tell me that you are a leader and things are happening around your people and you are not saying anything. You know, and I made this statement with reference to just what happened in the embassy. Okay? And it's obvious, it's nobody else. We need to call them by what they do. It is the Nigerian terrorist element that has gone so wild in these villages, bombing and decimating people's homes. They cannot tell me they don't have drones. With all these monies they are siphoning and borrowing everywhere. They cannot tell me they can employ, technology if they are looking for a particular group of people. So when they're coming to our land and destroying buildings of poor people, and somebody cannot say anything. Somebody cannot stand in their face and boldly challenge them. That hurts. And unfortunately, the people that are supposed to challenge them are the people who are dragging us to this one Nigerian unity. Because if you are dragging me to Nigeria, why don't you give me a rationale? Tell me you are gaining from them. Just like I remember one of the greatest voices of this time. When I remember, they cannot be careless in today. I remember when he asked them, because it's like if we with Allah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, because these people are dragging us to this point. They have refused to talk, they have refused to, but yet they defend. Let them know that it's regularly things are getting on a daily basis. Let me tell you, for some of the people who think that what they did in Finland was just a charade or whatever, I tell them, all this confusion, people say they are running the land. Anyway, you mentioned about Sudan when you came here. I thought you were comparing with what we're going through today. But there's no comparison. But the only thing I can tell you, or bring to our knowledge, is that the issue of Southern Sudan did not just start in the 70s or in the 80s. It started way back in the 1955. Okay, when there was mistrust on the northern soldiers and the southern soldiers after an unrest, or rather mutiny, they call it. Okay, it didn't start. But guess what? Those mutineers did not just drop their guns after the resolution and just quit. Just like some of the Biafrans were asked to drop their guns, and everybody came out and gave their guns, and thinking that Nigeria will do the so-called 3 hours they promised, until back to even what situation. They did not live by their whatever they said they are going to do. And when these mutineers in Sudan, they did not all come to drop their guns. Some of them ran into the wilderness. And after recruit, and they started insurgency. What is happening in our land today, basically, things like that. People doing things here in the bush. The so-called government cannot even, smoke them out because it's difficult to fight insurgency.
All right.
And the whole thing is all wrong. So the advice is for some of these people who think they're in the government and nothing can happen to them, they get it all covered. Tell you, think twice.
All right.
Whatever you see today, what is coming ahead is bigger than all of them.
All right. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you. Let me quickly take this call up before it cuts. You have been calling even before the program started. Hello. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello. Good evening, sir. I'm calling from India. I'm Samson.
You're calling from?
Italy.
All right. Go on, Samson. What's your take on the discussion tonight?
Yes, my takes on this United of Biafra state is that I just want all the Igbos, all the Biafra, both in abroad in Nigeria, they should come together and defend their land. Everybody has seen what is happening in Nigeria for so long. I'm Yoruba person. If Nigeria is good, I will not be in abroad. Everybody has seen what is happening in Nigeria. If one tribe can start this movement successful, others will follow. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for your submission. Thank you so much for your submission. We are still live and we are still direct here on Matters Arising, talking about the Biafra Declaration in Finland. What is your take? And you can make use of the lines by calling +234 81045455533. The number is displayed there on the screen. Let us have your opinion with respect to what we're talking about tonight. You have the time and opportunity to speak and let your opinion be made known to the public. What happened in Finland? How do you react to it? Is it a fiction? Is it a fact? How do you separate propaganda from reality? Or some people may call it illusion. Okay, so the numbers is there on the screen. And don't forget that we are streaming on all our social media platforms. On our Facebook page, BVI Channel 1. Please follow us there and stay connected. And also on our Instagram, we are there streaming live there too. We also hope that you follow us on our TikTok, BVI Channel 1. You can search it, follow us on TikTok, because we are going to start expanding our live streaming to that platform to widen the knowledge of our people and giving them the opportunity to understand critically the matters that affects them. You can also follow us on our X account platform, BVI Channel 1. Search for it and be part of this process. And I can tell you from this platform, you can only get undiluted truth, and these truths are bitter. That's why many people don't like it. You may disagree with me. It doesn't matter. Just take the message, leave the messenger. We have been in this for God knows how long, but we've been preaching unity. We've been preaching due process. We've been asking our people to understand that nothing happens by magic without a process. There is a process to achieving anything. And we must engage in a well thought out plan of action in order to be able to achieve whatever aspiration the people are asking for. We are committed to the safety and prosperity of our homeland. To start with, I'm a Biafran, and I make bold to say it. Okay? And the reason why I'm boldly declaring my Biafranhood and preaching this gospel, living in Biafran land, people say they are so surprised why you are not being arrested for talking about Biafra. Nobody's going to arrest me for being a Biafran or talking about Biafra, except if I start jumping into some of the, illusional, sentimental, and emotional outbursts like some of us have always engaged in. So I believe in the due process of law, and we can achieve the freedom we desire, even in our homeland. Okay? We can achieve that freedom through economic freedom, and that is what GDN is championing through good governance, holding the people in government accountable to do what is right. Just look at the schools that we have done at Timbosi. I'm going to discuss that tomorrow. We're going to look at it tomorrow, the destruction happening in our homeland. Because as you know, if we know the situation, India will go to say, na onodugo adrebema. We know the position of an average Biafran that if you do what the rest of other Nigerians does, the way they're going to treat you will be different from the way they treat others. Because there is this institutionalized hatred against the Biafran people. You call yourself Igbo is a big problem. Much more you mentioning Biafra. Okay? So understanding that peculiarity and sensitivity of the situation of our people in Nigeria, we shouldn't provoke the kind of situation that will decimate our homeland. that will destroy our homeland, that will give the oppressors the excuse and the room for them to come in and do the damage they always wanted to do. That is what we are trying to let our people understand. You can't make any headway. So that's why we are taking our time to educate our people, to conscientize our people, to enable them to understand this process, so that we don't invest our energy, resources, and time to things that set us back, to things that are anti-Biafra ideology. We want our homeland to start working. We want to have a situation where the people in power will be loyal to the aspiration of their own people. We think their homeland first, without getting us into more serious trouble. If our people should engage or even support what DGM is doing from this point in preaching and mobilizing the people for good governance, I can tell you, I can assure you that, to be frank with you, we will get the freedom we need, socio-economic freedom to start with. It is very important we have that, because without that, due to poverty and hunger, you all know that the Nigerian political system or political structure have weaponized poverty and hunger. And Ndubisi have elaborated that. I think Ndubisi have joined us to the back end. Let's see if we can bring him up so that he will emphasize it once more as a village economist. But we've been saying that the structure of impunity, the political structure of impunity in Nigeria have weaponized poverty and hunger. That is why they know, after you are shouting, you need Biafra, which you know that 95% of our people are passionate about Biafra. 95% of our people want Biafra today or tomorrow. Okay? Our people want Biafra today or tomorrow. But they know that by weaponizing poverty and hunger during an election, they will still use you to validate their position, to recycle themselves back into power. Because you go out there, you sell your vote. You go out there, you rent crowd. You allow yourself to be rented. And you give polo t-shirt, Ghanaian politicians and the rest of them. You all gather in a stadium. They will all record it and push it out that everybody is supporting them. And you collect 2,000 naira and go home. Because they know that if you are gainfully employed, if you are gainfully engaged in productive activity, you will not find time to be paying, to be getting paid with 1,000 or 2,000 naira for you to wear their t-shirt and come to their rally and give them popularity vote. We're not talking about those who they will give money to do their shenanigans and dirty jobs for them during elections. These are the Biafran people. I'm talking about Biafran people in this scenario. It is also happening in other places, in the west, in the north, in the other places in Nigeria. It is the standard procedure. But we are dealing with our own self here in Biafra land to start with. So the same people that are saying that Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is this is the same people that they use to recycle themselves in power. Have you ever seen politicians write election results? No. Have you ever seen a politician or your children carry ballot box? The answer is no. Even have you ever seen politicians buy votes during the election? The answer is no. They send the same people, the same suffering people, not just the Biafran people in this case. All over Nigeria, the same thing is happening. They will send the same suffering people who are abusing politicians to go and buy the vote of their fellow suffering Nigerians and collect commission. And at the end of the day, the criminal elements, men of questionable characters, will remain in power and truncate every means possible for you to achieve any freedom. And with that freedom, I wonder how they're going to get independence. Because it is when we are able to put our house in order, put our system in order. In fact, it's even the North. North are doing it extremely well. Even the West are even copying it. Today, they're using their policies and everything to shift the entire economy of Nigeria to Lagos. That is what Tinubu is doing. This is what they would not have done over time. Jonathan had an opportunity. Only God knows what he did then. And they pushed him aside. Today, the people are still backward. You must understand that Nigeria is not one. And that is the fact. But you need people with ideology that are driven with the aspiration of their own people, that will think their own people first, because it is not a pattern for you to think about your own. This is charity against our own. You cannot begin charity in another person's land. You begin it from the homeland. But we need the political class or leadership class to understand this. And the only way the political class can have a turnaround is when the people are properly informed. It is when they get this kind of message on this platform. That is the only time they will be able to know that if they go into power and do anything or promote any anti-people's policies or program, the people will come after him. The people will no longer give him that support during the election, and he will never return back to the government. We put amount pressure. The biggest pressure group is the people. But who is going to organize them? That is what GGM is trying to do. But how many people are supporting it? The economic program we dished out to promote the socio-economic development of our homeland. How many people are supporting it? How many people are investing in it? Some people are already invested in agricultural projects, and we've seen a lot of roadblock. But for the fact that to save our face and integrity, we must protect that and the investment of the people. We have been going around to secure the land. Just to secure land, we've gone to government. They are not giving us the land. Even on lease for us to go and engage in agricultural production. So these are some of the things our people must understand and support the effort of GDM. Hello, good evening. This is BDI Channel 1. You are live on the program. Good evening to you. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Go on. Go on. I can't hear you. I think we lost him. I think we lost that call. You can call back. We are still live on direct. And I don't know if Nubis have joined us back again to make his submission. The lines are still open. And when your calls are not coming, we may call it in. All right. We have a lot of people who are dropping their comments. We may not go through all the comments. All right. We might not go through all the comments. But for the benefit of those who are dropping trash in the name of comments, just know that we have our standard guideline on how we behave on this platform. We conduct ourselves in the best manner that is obtainable by Biafrans. Okay? So make sure you stick within the comments that connects with what we're talking about. We might not go through all the commentaries here, but we acknowledge every one of you who are watching. But for those who are against what we're saying, it is all part of the process. We disagree to agree. And I tell you, time is what will sort everything out. Okay? So, we acknowledge Brown Bars. I know you've been antagonizing us, but you still continue to hear this truth. Maybe one day this truth will set you free. We also have Oba, Ike, and the rest of them. Uche, Hillary, every one of you who have joined, General Channel, all of you, we acknowledge you are coming in. Livinus, Okwa, all of you, Johnson, Beluchuku, Kensi, Wobodo, all of you, we appreciate every one of you, whether you are for or against. The most important thing that you are hearing this gospel. And we've been preaching it for God knows how long, and we remain consistent in it. All right? So we appreciate everyone. Ika Sonia, you have been a very ardent follower of this platform. We appreciate you, Ika Asonia. Scarlett Ebrele. Now, some of these names are not even related to Biafra, but they claim to be Biafra. I wonder how they are Biafrans. Anyway, that is by the way. I've on social media, Rika. So, with respect to what our people in Finland, honestly speaking, is applaudable. It's quite commendable. The organization there, the display there, the engagement. In fact, if not for this event, we wouldn't be talking what we are talking here and creating the awareness. So it is part of it. It is. I would say, it's an applause. It's a plus to what the Biafran people are doing with respect to escalate the importance of this agitation. Okay, we really appreciate that event. It is symbolic. Nobody is castigating it, but we must understand and separate fact from fiction. It is very, very important, and that is what we are doing right here. All right, let us take this caller. Hello, good evening. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Good evening, your name and where you're calling from. Turn down the volume of your listening device, please. Can you turn down the volume of your listening? We can hear you, but turn down the volume of where you are listening from. We can hear our whole back.
Oh, okay. I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, go on.
My name is Robin. I'm calling from Lagos. I'm a full-time Biafra.
Thank you very much. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. My intake regarding this Biafra declaration is a very good movement. It's a very good movement. You see, in most times we have to tell ourselves truth. We have to tell ourselves the truth. You see, because regarding what is happening in Nigeria now, even from the T.Y. Danjuma, the reference he makes, there's a lot of atrocities going in Nigeria, and we cannot keep quiet and watch these things continue happening. You see, there is a procedure to get independence. And there's a procedure to get independence. There's a template. And that is what Biafrans are taking. That is the procedure they are following. We need to go for the second time, and nobody is planning for that, and we are not interested in that. Everybody have freedom to live. That's why there's referendum. There's freedom of speech. Doesn't mean that we are in war. And once every nation, every tribe got their independence, this country is going to be better. Where nobody is agitating for war. What the government in exile is doing, they are following due process. They are following procedures. You see, what happened in Southern Sudan might not be the same thing that is going to happen in Nigeria. But the most important thing is this. Our leader, Onyendu, you understand me, he has been sensitizing many of us. And I'm a follower of your channel, but I know most of the times it's not what I believe, it's what you, BVI, is going to believe. But what we are looking is this. What is the best solution to our own problem? How are we going to get out of this menace we are into? We have traveled all over the world. Look at Dubai. Look at many countries. Nigeria as it is now, we cannot boast of light. We cannot boast of good facilities. Basic amenities, we cannot boast of it. You see, when we are talking of these things, it looks like people are not serious because Nigeria government don't want to give the citizens freedom. If Nigeria is working very well, there's no how Yoruba people will be agitated. If Nigeria is working very well, there's no how our mothers, our grandmothers can be protesting in the snow. Can be protesting in the snow outside the country. Do you know how many Nigerians that outside the country just to look for a green pasture? Do you understand? When we start bringing negative narrative, it's not going to help our children. I know how old I am now. Nigeria have not been for any benefit in my life ever since. All the things I've been doing is in my own efforts. Now, how can people be against of this the way Biafra want to be free? Are you not seeing what is happening in the eastern side? Killings everywhere. Killings everywhere. My in-law was kidnapped, and the people that are kidnapping, they are police people. We thank God that he came out alive. You understand? Now, when we are talking of Biafra getting their own independence, it's not a crime. You can hear what the congressman said in the Biafra declaration. You can hear what all the lobbyists said. There is a procedure to get independence. It's not a fight. There is a template, and Simon Eber is following that procedure. And don't ever, in this thing that is happening in Finland, it's not, there's professors. So are you people telling us that those professors outside the country, they don't have knowledge, they don't have wisdom, they don't know what they are doing? All these people that is calling, saying that they are not doing it in the right direction, they are not doing it this way, they are not doing it. Are they not there when Nigeria military assassinated NSAS people in Lekki? Are they not there? What exactly is going on in this country whereby people cannot sincerely from their heart say the truth apart from politics? So we must tell ourselves true. What I'm begging, what I'm urging all the Biafrans is this. This is the right time for every nook and cranny to come together. This is the right time for everybody to come together and support this movement.
All right. Okay.
There's no going back. This is the best time. Everybody should leave all the Hello?
Hello, we got your opinion. It's very clear and loud, and we appreciate that, so that we give room for other
Please.
people.
Okay, please, let me just finalize. I'm just pleading. To all the well-meaning Biafrans, people like you, because their voice is being heard. You have to start synthesizing people. Let us live grief. Let us live grievously. Let us support. Let us come with one mind. Let us come with one united Biafra and get and achieve this goal.
All right.
Understand?
All right.
Because
we have other callers.
Is going to live.
We have other.
Nobody is going to live on this earth. Nobody is going to live on this earth forever.
It's okay. I think you have made your point.
Let us achieve this for our children.
We've given you
let us achieve this for our children.
You have made your point, and I think we've given you more than enough time for you to expound your opinion, which is very appreciated. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. People are very passionate, and when they start talking, they will take over the entire program and may not give other people the time to speak. Hello, DBC. Let's start concluding for today's program by hearing your opinion. You've heard what other people have said so far. How do you react to them in conclusion as we are wrapping up for today's broadcast? DBC, can you hear me? So talk to us. How do you react to all the things that you've heard so far? Of course. It- Mm, mm, mm. It will. Ọ dị egwu. Ife ofu onye zutere o. Well, I address that issue. I'll be publishing it. Publishing it tonight or maybe tomorrow. That on that incident, I already addressed it, and you need to hear it. Honestly, for those of you who are following our all daily updates, of course. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. And thank you very much for that very submission. And that is how we are going to be wrapping it up for today. We have fast spent the program. We'll be coming back again, same time, 6 p.m. on Matters Arising, weekdays from Monday to Friday. And on Friday is a special one where we take GGM hour. So take your time to be part of this program anytime. Continue in this conversation through the comment section. Let the discussion continue from there. Let us all together as a people, learn and unlearn through this process. Okay, we agree to disagree. The most important thing and the bottom line is public interest for the betterment of our people, for the progress and peace, tranquility in our homeland. That is all we are asking for. The freedom of our people is paramount. And our people will say in the BC, life is paramount. So when there is life, there is hope. We don't want to cut that hope short by the endless and senseless insecurity situation we are seeing in our homeland today. Join us tomorrow as we're going to take on other issues that matters to us, actually. All right? That are very important to us. So join us again on Matters Arising tomorrow, and I'll be here to give you this platform to speak, and your voice will be heard. I'm Asuchelo Peters, the advocate for good governance. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, hit on the subscription button. If you believe in our message and you want to join GGM in this advocacy and be an ambassador, identify with us, call us, and we will bring you on board so that together as a people, we can form a formidable force that will liberate the people from the stranglehold of corrupt political class who have held them in bondage right in their homeland. This is where we draw the curtain for today. Stay blessed, stay safe at all time. Till I come back again tomorrow. Peace be unto you. Bye-bye for now.